Hi everybody, Trent here. I just wanted to go over a nice video that is basically a video version of the handout I give people in the clinic about total motion release, or TMR. I just wanted to put down a couple things here about some information you can find. TotalMotionRelease.com and TotalMotionPT.com are websites from Tom DeLonzo Baker, who is the founder of Total Motion Release. Gives some really good videos and examples and resources to help you understand what we're trying to go through. And also you realize it's not just something I just gave you here in the clinic. Hopefully you can understand that there's a whole bunch of thinking and background behind this, and once you feel it, really I don't have to explain it too much more. You get to feel that you know that it's helping you. I also just put down here, it's kind of glary, but there's a YouTube channel that you can go to there for Total Motion Release, and hopefully that will give you some good information too. But really, I wanted to go over real quick what I show people in the clinic, and I wrote it here on the whiteboard. It's got some mess on the side. It's just because my son likes to play with this thing, and I just double up with it. It works, right? So number one is to find an issue in specific movement that makes your problem not so bueno. Okay, something where, let's say you have a shoulder problem, and when you bring your shoulder up and you rotate your palm in, that's when it kills you. Oh, that's bad. I can't get there. And you note how high you're going and that kind of thing. Pay attention to about every aspect of that movement, not only how bad it hurts, but also how far you were going. Because sometimes if you recheck it later, because we're going to check this later, if you're going up this high now and it hurts, well, that's an improvement. It's just the sense that people say that it hurts after they recheck it, that they think, oh, it doesn't work, when really, in fact, it will be working. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be very key to your success with the program. The more specific you can get about a movement, the better. For example, with the neck, if it's just turning, but it could be several issues, but if you can find a specific movement that gets you, if it's turning right and then looking up, find something that gets you that's the worst. There might be several things that are bad, but if you can make something that's worse, that's going to be the most helpful for us. Okay. And another thing is, it can't just be a position, it has to be movement. So that is kind of the gospel of TMR, as Tom would say, something where you have to have some specific movement, because every movement, there is something specific to your problem, even though you may not find it yet. This is a big part of doing it. So get to finding it. That's going to be a big part of step one. Once you can figure out that and work it out for several issues, that's going to really help you. Okay, number two, check left versus right. Now, all that means is you're checking different movements. 4 of them that I tend to give people right away. There are 6 about that we get people normally in the total motion initial visit. But basically, first one is an arm raise. You're bringing it up, just checking each side. Okay, just see where they're at. Second one's a twist. You're seeing how far you can go each direction. Okay, so just kind of detecting where you're feeling tense. And then another one's a leg raise. I was trying to think if I could do this on the camera, but you're doing a leg raise like this. What you don't want to have is a back to a chair, so don't lean into the back. Try to have a bench or do it on a bed or something like that, so you don't have that support into the chair. Okay, and you are allowed to lean back as you lift up. Okay, the last one that I tend to give people is to sit to stand single leg. And you probably can't see me, but from a chair I'm standing single leg. So I'm picking a foot up and coming back down. These I went through in a different video, and it's in the handout that I give everybody from their first visit on total motion release. So what I want you to do with those, you figure out the one that had the biggest difference between left and right. Was it the arm? Was it the twist? Was it leg raise? Or was it sit to stand? Determine which one it was, and that's going to decide where we're going to start with step number 3. And step number 3 is the different thing that makes TMR is, and it's got a big spot on there from the lamp. Exercise the good side only. That's right, you work the side that feels better. I put the reps and everything down, but 2 to 3 sets of about 20 seconds, or 2 to 3 sets of 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. So that just gives us time to work that side out. So if you have a side that's hurting at the shoulder, you're going to be doing arm raises over here, and you probably do about 10, or let's say 3 sets of 20 seconds. That's usually what I tell people to do. And then after that, you go to step 4, which is recheck. Okay, so recheck, all that means is we're seeing if it's better, worse, or the same as when it was, or than it was when you previously checked it. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to be all the way better, but I want to see if it's better than it was. Like if you bring it up, like I said, if it still kind of hurts, but you're going up this high, or you bring it up just as high, but it doesn't hurt as bad, that's an improvement. That's what we want to see. Okay, and so I wrote down a couple quick little things because I run out of room on the board. Basically, you can see it says if you're happy, okay, if it says if it's better, keep going. Okay, something's working and you need to keep working what's over here. Okay, the only thing that you did since the last time you lifted this arm was this arm raise as an exercise. If this movement creates something that goes on in your body, and that's a whole other story, I can go into that later. But basically, if there's something that you do in your body when you do the arm raise over here that helps this arm raise get better, then you want to keep doing it. It's helping you. Don't worry about how it works. It's working, just like electricity. You don't have to worry about how it works. Just get to what works and help yourself, okay? So, and then the next couple spots are this. If it's equal, okay, if there's no change, then you need to change something. So the triangle just means change or tweak something. So for example, the arm raise, I'll just use as a easy example. If I did 2 sets of 20 seconds or 3 sets of 20 seconds, I might do 3 sets of 30 seconds or even a minute, as long as it's feeling fine over here. It's another thing. When you're working your good side, that should feel good, okay? I don't want you to do a movement that feels less bad than this side, okay? If you have 2 bad shoulders, you may not be able to do this left shoulder. You might have to be doing something in your trunk or in your legs or something like that. So keep that in mind, that you're just going to find what works and do a lot of that movement. The key component is, however, no matter what you do in your body, you're going to come back to that original thing that you had, whether it's the arm raise or, lifting an arm like I showed you, or if it's that neck movement or if it's a back movement. It can be anything in your body. You can pick it. But basically, you're going to go back to that movement and see if it's better, worse, or the same than when it was the first time you checked it, or the last time you checked it, as you keep going during the process. What you're going to try to do is keep going until it gets as equal as possible. When you get to all these movements, twist, arm raise, lifting a leg, and sit to stand on a single leg, if you can do all those where they're relatively equal, you're going to in general feel a lot better, and you're going to find your primary issue feels a little bit better too. That's a TMR, total motion release, in a nutshell. I hope that's helpful. I want to get some feedback from people, but I really love this technique. I think it's just one of the greatest ways to get release of tissue and get spots that are tight to open up without forcing your body to do it. And that's what we want. We want to get the end result of you getting more range of motion, you feeling better, without having to force yourself to do it. And that's what I see all the time. We're trying to make that arm move. The only thing we try to tend to work on tends to be that side that's sore. And really, when your body's saying ouch every time you do it, that's telling us that your body is not liking that. It's not helpful for healing. And so looking indirectly, finding other ways in the whole body, moving through your trunk, moving through your arms, finding different dimensions of movement, which is a whole different, an extra bit of this stuff, which we go into. But basically, if you can get that side to get better with something else, I'm going to do all that I can in the world to get that better, even if it's a leg movement to help your neck, which I see a lot. So I hope this really gives you some insight on how to do this. It's a good little take home from the little sheet I give you. That's not that in depth. It does kind of explain it, but it's not perfect. Like I said, there's more information on Tom's website, totalmotionrelease.com and totalmotionpt.com. And then I would definitely recommend the YouTube videos to get some sense of this. And it's a paradigm shift. People aren't used to doing this complete opposite side stuff. Not to say that there isn't something to be done on the side that you have. I keep pointing to shoulder, but it could be anything in your neck that we need to work on. But if we can knock out a lot of muscle guarding and problems by doing other parts of the body first, we need to do that. That's going to be so much more helpful for you than trying to make something that's guarded and stiff and sore to move when it doesn't want to. So give this a try. I'm interested to hear how you're doing, and I wish you the best. Thanks a lot.